Hey, this is Majinoni, and here is my review for the Assassination Classroom manga series. Now, the anime is getting close to the ending, it's in its final season, and that just inspired me to go ahead and just finish out this series because I just had to know what was going on because I heard um, things about the ending. So, let's get on with this. Now, with Assassination Classroom, it's a story that seems really dark, but it's not even close to that. Basically, there is a creature who's like an octopus, a humanoid octopus in the sense that it's his big head and he's got tentacles, and he destroys part of the moon. And he comes down to Earth and says, basically, if you don't kill me within 1 year, then I'm going to destroy the world. And he chooses a classroom, and basically he says that these kids in this classroom have to kill me. So what we're going to do is while we're learning like English, math, and history, then we're going to also learn the art of assassination. And if you succeed, then the government's going to pay these kids like a ton of money. But that's on the very surface. When as you go deeper into the story, there's a lot going on. Part of I wish I can find the quote again so I can quote it verbatim, but I read that Assassination Classroom is basically talking about the conditions of schools in Japan where there's like excessive bullying based on grades. See, basically, for those of you who don't know, in Japan when they have exams, like the big exams, they post there's a board and then everybody's name or numbers there and what their grade is. So there's a ranking. So if you are number one, obviously your work looked very favorably. If you're the last or near the bottom, you don't get that same attention, and it's quite obvious that where your standing is. Now, the class 3E is a bunch of these kids who are basically falling through the cracks of this school. They're being bullied because they don't have good grades. Some of them might be a little bit outcasty. Others just were in the wrong place at the wrong time, pissed off the wrong person, and they got sent to this classroom to be forgotten. So the octopus alien, who they call Koro Sensei, he basically is going to teach these kids. And this is where it changes from being this dark story with assassination. See, Koro Sensei, he's not a normal teacher, so to speak. Because he's got exceptional abilities, he can move really quickly, he's super intelligent, and he's got regeneration abilities. He can fly at supersonic speeds. So what he does is he gives every student individual attention at the same time, basically, because he can create like a clone image of himself all over the classroom. He writes tests or quizzes, for all of his students, and he personalizes them. So this way he gives them questions that he knows that these kids have trouble with. So this way when they go to their final tests or their midterms or things like that, they're much better prepared. And the one thing that Koro Sensei does that all of these kids needed was they needed somebody to basically believe in him. He's always stands behind his kids. He always gives kids the praise. And towards the end of the series, he basically says, the path you're on is always correct. Or the path you're on is correct because it's your path. Which basically means follow your dreams. And don't worry about it because it's your dream isn't wrong. So follow it. And that is like, for what these kids needed in their lives, it basically guides them in the right path for the future. Now, if you're a fan of GTO, this is almost similar to that storyline, but this contains a lot more humor, and the artwork is a little bit more comedic in a sense. It's not as detailed. Basically, not only do the kids have to deal with the assassination of the teacher, but they have to deal with other classmates competing in different types of sporting events. They have to deal with actually fighting off other assassins later on. And this is just... It's just, like I said, this was just a mixture of things. You had pretty decent action because these kids are learning how to fight, how to shoot guns, how to use weapons. You had a fair amount of comedy. Koro Sensei's kind of a perv, so you have that element into it. And you have really, great character moments between the student and the teacher. And when I finally got to the end, it really was like a really, really rough ending. The origin of Koro Sensei was just unbelievably brutal. It's just like, if you want to hear like a sad story, that's like a sad story in itself. And then when you get to the very end of the story of Assassination Classroom, I'm not going to spoil it, but the ending, it really ended in the only way it could have or should have ended. And it was like a really, really like emotional, strong ending. So overall, Assassination Classroom is one of the best mangas I've read in a really long time. And it's what I really liked about it is it's not like this 80-volume monster. It's only dealing with 1 year of these kids' lives, and so it's a one and done. But I heard that there's like an offshoot that's coming out, and it's completely worth it. Now these 2 volumes don't have a lot of good pictures of Koro Sensei because he gets chained. He gets actually turned into this ball, and they throw him basically like a bowl, or not a bowl, but a container. But and it's mostly dealing with the kids dealing with assassins. But as you can see, he's like this crazy octopus guy. He's got tentacles. He's got a crazy face. His face changes color based on his mood. And most of the time, he's really happy-go-lucky, but when he turns his evil face, it is like this face of fear type thing. You just hope you never see that type of face. Even his outfit, which is, a graduation uniform, everything has a meaning behind it. And overall, highly, highly recommend this story. If you're not already buying this, it's so worth it. It's beyond what you think just the basic plot is, and it's a really strong series. Highly recommend it. The art's kind of good. I mean, it is what it is for a Shonen Jump type title. There's some really good art scenes, fight scenes. Other times, the art style goes a little bit more comedic, but I think that because of the basic plot of Assassination, I think that by making it more cutesy in a way, it kind of disarms you a little bit, in the sense that it lightens up the mood. And I think that helps focus you away from, in a sense, the bad connotation of the assassination to more of the comedic side. So overall, definitely highly recommend it. Also watch the anime. The anime is currently streaming for free on Funimation, or you can pay their subscription rates and get the episodes sooner, commercial free, that kind of thing. Overall, one of the best. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. Share. We'll have some more videos. I have a haul that I got to do still. And if you have watched or read Assassination Classroom, let me know what you guys thought. And we'll have more stuff later. So until next time.